Hello, everybody. Let me go ahead. I just want to get into this. First, I want to show somebody asked me a question. So I said, let me go ahead and do this because I think that's right here. I gotta have my battle music playing. I'm gonna show you one. I'm gonna show you two. I'm not gonna show every one of them. Okay. Okay. Let's do this one. Yes, lay on the bed, buddy. I ain't want to lay on the bed when my ass is out the way. Instead of being at my feet, causing me to cramp up, even though the bed's big as hell. So, before I read this to you, and then do our regular reading that we missed yesterday, the other one, this is autobiography of Walt Whitman. This is not the original. I want the 1915 one, which is pretty expensive. That one has a lot more clarity, and even though I have the PDF, there's a lot of things in here that's not in the PDF, and I'll show you why I have this indiscretion about pale skins. This new generation, they lack, and from our generation, lack truth and enthusiasm and truth, and then you don't believe in Masonic motherfuckers keeping the narrative, the lies, and the fake Jew. I say it like that. I can say that. Or the Ashkenaz, excuse me. The Ashkenaz, because some converts really want to practice and believe in something that's ancient, has nothing to do with the Torah or the Talmud. That's the Talmud, but not the perverted form. All right? And it's not a religion. And that's nothing y'all need to know. A lot of y'all, these fake Hebrews and all of them, don't know nothing about anything. Trust me. But this is not the original writing. This is like a revision as well. This is out of 2002. Who was the president? Who was the lackey after? Who was the lackey after that? How long do you think it was kept up? And who was pushing it? And besides the name, all right, we're not going to get into that. Chicago Tribune of the 1800s or the other Chicago newspapers. But I'm going to read an article out of here that shows you during the time of the World's Fair and its conception, what was happening, to show you the displacement and why all those millions of pale skins came here, and it wasn't exactly for war. We're going to get into that. And this book right here, it describes Lincoln several times. And then there's a biography by Lincoln's father who tells you what his wife looked like, brunette, which means brown people in its origin, until the fucking 1960s and 70s when they changed it to a hair color. Because we owned all the beauty shops. We were the ones that showed them how to perm and everything else. And then we save all the issues of stupidity. All right, because I don't like lamenting in those places. And here, I'll get to those too. But that's got to be read with a long shadow. Because now you know who the Hebrew character is, and even he's been given a fake face, and it's a pale face. I'm surprised that the Ashkenaz didn't even do that, but not at all. Because the true character we're going to pull up, and I had to dig deep to find his true. We're talking about of the Confederacy, all right? We're talking about of a certain war, something, all right, who was identified as a Jew. We can show us his true face compared to the lie that they keep posting on Google, which we know who runs that, and we also know that he's a proprietor as well. The cousin that owns Wikipedia, the fake ones. So that's all the Ashkenaz, okay? Bottom line, we're going to get through that. And because I keep telling you, you need to read to be a certified and to be certified in whatever truth may be out there, all right? I don't like debating or conversating with these people talking about, I'm with the college, I got degrees. I'm doing nothing. What does that mean? I'm with the college and all that degrees. What does it mean? It means absolutely nothing. It's a fact. I had to look at the news article. I had to go and pull it up before I would say it on here because it could be misleading. But California was giving out represent whatever, and they were actually tying people's hands down, knowing exactly what the drug was going to do to their lungs, making sure their families couldn't be around them, and literally causing these people to panic, couldn't pull this thing from their mouth. They caused them to breathe even harder. So they were literally murdering people. And that's what it is. For my PMed days, my nursing days, that's what it is. This is 3 hospitals, only 3. They didn't say everything about all of them. You have moral subjugation still in hospitals, and you still have people want to do the right thing. I know too many nurses. You got a few that come on here who I know, all right? Dave said the same thing, and I would hate to see somebody sit there and challenge that. And I told you, my daughter, my oldest daughter, she's rich as fuck and lives in California. She conveyed this with friends of hers. And now some of these doctors aren't even here. They don't went to Mexico. They don't even want them down there. Some of them are left. See, this is what I'm saying, y'all. And foreign doctors. And that's the worst part about it. We're talking about Hindustani and Chinese doctors out the Yang. And some, I guess, from Sweden or Finland or whatever. I'm just asking questions. It's alleged. As far as the article, it's a fact. I can pull it up on my tablet. You can pull it up. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to be medical misinformation. You look it up, and then you convey on here and say, what have you found? This is a real thing. It's a lawsuit. I just saw it. Fox, and you know I don't care about all the news. To me is all bullshit. But how can they hide anymore? And I think it was CNBC. It was one of those two, or maybe three. It's on a tablet. I was just reading the article. I was like, you got to be kidding. Oh, so somebody's actually going to speak about something now? And they were blocking and deleting people's counts and everything else. And they were doing all this stuff to push this agenda. It's pretty sad. Look it up. So we're going to read this. And I want to show you at that time, I'm looking at the time period 1846 to 1845. We know that it went on longer than that. We know about the Civil War, what was happening. But I went ahead and I marked it. Highlighted doesn't mean necessarily using yellow ink. This book right here, Walt Whitman, the biography by Milton Metzer, Ashkenaz. All right, he's got to change the narrative. Well, was printed, published by 21st Century Books, a division of the Millbrook Press, once owned by Negroes, original people. 2 Old New Milford Road, Brookfield, Connecticut. Okay, I forget when it was taken over, but anyway, by Milton Metzer. Look him up. Who do you think pushed the African American narrative? Oh, we think Jesse Jackson, Ashkenazi. And I know that because married into my fucking family. So we're going to read that. But first, let me go ahead and share this with the brother that asked in my Gmail. Now, maybe you already know. And you're just trying to be a fun dud. You know, I believe in the Constitution, right? Because that's ours. How else were the liberals able to remove it at a time when we needed it the most? And most people didn't abide by it while we were fighting all these wars. Because that's when the Palestinians actually started coming over here, want to assert themselves, to create some false white superiority based on Boaz and about 5 other Ashkenaz. So one of the weapon belts that I use if I'm wearing sweatpants and I just want to make sure I'm carrying and it's well hidden, I carry Blade Tech. This is just the some one that I use with my jeans. I have the thicker one. So if I'm wearing like my BDUs, I run the thick one through there, and then this one wraps around, and I have 1 or 2 depending. I have a longer one. So this one right here is short enough. I've had this for about 7 years, 5 to 7, I don't know how long. I don't keep tabs on that time. This one is excellent, and the thick one's over there. I got 2 or 3 of these. And then I've got to have my core. I don't want nothing else. I've got a weapons belt. I'm not going to show you that. That's one you can fit everything you want. I can do that with this, with pouches, with certain, magazine bags, medical bag. I can run it right through this, have it hanging, or I can run it on my plate carrier or on my other carriers that are not just about plate carriers. This right here is phenomenal with its catch and release. It's powerful. It's powerful. All right. And when you get it, you see that right there? It's like a conveyor. Locks right on in. And you put this in yourself. It comes with the tools, the Allen keys. And this is Velcro. In case you don't want to have this on there getting in the way of certain other. So you can pop that right on off. If you don't need the rail, if you don't need this rail, you might only cut it for a certain placement. So when you don't need this, dispose of it. That way, when you have your belts and your loops, you can have certain gear. You can kit your belt however you require. That's the term we use in the military. People, that means to kit your equipment. Okay, so there you go. That's 2. I'm not showing you the other 4. 3 or 4. I've got a bunch of them. Okay, don't go chasing it. Don't go chase. As you know, I use We the People, and I use a couple of them. We the People is my go-to. My soup smells fabulous. I got a sweet tater cabbage soup down there that is magnificent. Let me go and turn it on low because I can really smell it. It's not going to burn. It's got coconut water up to the height. And it's got brine in there too. Excuse me. Oh, that smells good. It smells good, buddy. Let me turn it down. I'll be right back, buddy. Oh, my goodness. Oh, yes. What? I gotta put some vanilla in there, man. Stop going out, bro. got 15 minutes. Come on. Hey! Woo! Why you gotta run up all the stairs behind me and grab my ankle, bro? Get back up there. Go and sit down. I had to throw me some red milk quinoa in that bad boy. 15, 20 minutes. Then I can turn it off and let it rest. I got a bunch of these, y'all. So, I told you, as healthy as I eat, you would think. But I told you, the enemy worked hard, especially in the medication I'm getting. It's changed, and I know every time it's changed when I took it, it's like they're trying to slowly poison me, which makes no sense. That's why I'm not really taking it. I'm dealing with it, which is pretty rough. But it shows you how sick they are. They actually called me, the VA from Salt Lake City, Utah. I guess the Lord agents. So I called back, and they had me on wait and tell me, oh, look, we can find out who it was that called. This is last week. You would think if the call was that important, they would call back, but this is how perverse they are. So I got people on standby who don't really care. They just pay attention. That work at the VA and everything else. That's all I'm gonna say to that. They think they're so locked in, threatening us in silence, as if to do it in open is something a prerogative. First of all, I'm not a United States citizen. I'm not United States nothing. I don't recognize no United States and all the version they create and the chaos. I don't recognize none of that stuff. I'm not an Indian. I'm not an Indian. I've used those terms to keep everybody whole. I'm not none of this made up shit. When I tell people I am Tartarian, I keep the Federalist Papers because I'm of the Republic, a Republican by nature. People have a hard time dealing with that because of their fake world they live in, being that of orphan great-great-great-grandchildren who don't know the real world to which they come from or existed in, and a certain group of perverted individuals led by whatever and whoever, I don't care, who assert a narrative that have nothing to do with truth, to put themselves in a position to acquiesce something knowing that everybody lives in a lie, and then they have these little gilded secret-ass society groups that don't know nothing other than what perversion they're given or shown. Please, just know who you are, the truth. Okay? Now, let me read this right here. And you know I've been talking about the Lord's Prayer. And, excuse me. Let's go ahead. And we're going to get into... We're not going to read Heaven Bearers and exposing the expeditions until later on. But 1851, and then we know about 1834. Why do I say that? Remember I said about wars kept us away from the truth? Well, and Walt Whitman, who was a very, very dear friend of Abe Lincoln, loved him dearly, who describes him, his coarse black hair, his coarse curly black hair, how dark he is, the fact that when Lincoln returned, hadn't seen him for a long time, riding beside him on a horse before he was murdered by this Ashkenaz called John Wilkes Booth. That's right, y'all, an Ashkenaz. Murders this Negro with a .44 caliber goddamn ball cannon. That's what I'm gonna call a damn stick, the boomstick. Okay, and who got away? Don't ever think they got that Booth and they did with him. No, that was somebody else, like they do everybody else. All right. There was a tense debate in Congress and among people over the issue and the end. President Polk began a war with Mexico in 1846, and in 1848, the defeated Mexicans signed a peace treaty. They weren't the Mexicans you see today. Remember who was the first president there? Of the Yamasee Nation? The Yama Nation? Yama Nation don't mean what people think it is, like these idiots running around with all this goofy stuff, attire on and all this other funny stuff. Those were ceremonial. That was all ceremonial. The peacock, this, that, and other. We didn't live, we wore clothes, people. Anyway, conceding to the United States, foreign occupation, why do I say that? Well, 500,000 square miles, about 1/3 of Mexico's land. About 1/3 of Mexico's land. You know, we're talking about Texas. It was more than which was actually Louisiana. But anyway, it was more than the combined area of France, Spain, and Italy. Now, I showed y'all that map, and everybody thinks that America is smaller than Russia and this, that, and other. They keep lying about the lands, and it's not even the way it is, because I keep telling you, California is an island. It is not even connected, except by way of Oregon and San Francisco. That's why you have San Francisco peaks, which I see whenever I go into Flagstaff, Arizona. I know it's hard for you to get. I know. It's all right. Slow down. Just take your time. It's no big deal. It was more than the combined area of France, Spain, and Italy. The United States had grown enormously. These are new names, terms too. Remember, France, Spain, and Italy are new terms. The United States had grown enormously through its aggression. The United States. It didn't say America. Now, the basic question was, how would the new territories be organized? Would they come into the Union as free states or slave states? Pay attention, California. You are a slave state. And all them Negroes running from battle. Remember the time period? What was going on? The establishment of the warfare from 18 what to 19 what? And then the destruction. So in order to have people out of the cities, you must have them in conflict. And the conflict was ever going non-stop. So everybody wants to say Civil War, Indian Wars, and all this other bullshit. I am telling you, President Lincoln was the original president, who was really a king. Y'all don't want to study about Prester John, do you? I know, and the Khans, the original Khans of these lands, who are asserted everywhere, not just Genghis Khan, who was dark as fucking midnight. We're talking about mahogany black people. Genghis Khan was like mahogany fucking black, y'all. I learned that from my buddy Denji from Siberia. See, I know you love this crap they keep teaching you here. And it was no wars like they played out in make-believe movies. All right? Now, this basic question was, how would the new territories be organized? Would they come into the Union as free states or slave states? A minority of Americans opposed the war as American troops were advancing into Mexico. American, Aboriginal, indigenous, led by who? Well, we know about Theodore Roosevelt, right? That's another story. Spanish-American War, but yet here you are hearing about who? President Polk. 1846 to 1848. Who was President Polk? Anyway, a minority of anyway, Henry David Thoreau was jailed in Concord years before. He had refused to pay his poll tax to support a government that sanctioned slavery. Poll tax, when we were last talking this fake history in school, that we succeeded because of what? The Boston Tea Party? Like from what? England? The Crown? Right? Bullshit. Poll tax ain't supposed to exist. And here you are, you goopy motherfuckers in liberal cities driving through these goddamn, these taxes to go into other states. You can't even make it make sense because y'all are so deep and stuck in the perversions of your minds. You don't even know how to elevate yourselves, but you want everybody to accept you for what you is. Well, Jersey, you're the most traitorous state in the world when it comes to espionage, spies, and belittling and betraying your own people, and most of you from down south. And now it's fighting a war to extend it, okay? A poll tax to support a government that sanctioned slavery, and now it's fighting a war to extend it. Thoreau believed that a man of conscience had a right to resist his government, which it did wrong, and which this is not our government. I keep telling y'all that, okay? His essay on civil disobedience argued that the law is not to be respected merely because it is the law, but only because it is right and just. Walt, however, like O'Sullivan, the review's editor, believed in the war. Now, remember I said Sonny Liston. Everybody wanted to make a joke about him. Sonny Liston is a Scottish name. He wore a kilt in Scotland because that's his origin. Anybody want to debate me on this? You want to call some Sonny Liston's families if they don't know? Maybe it was kept a secret because he was a Mason too. He was a crook. He was a bad motherfucker. You know how he ended up. I'm just asking you a question. Anybody want to get one of them over here and me break down their genealogy? No, you know why? Because, you know, it's important to keep things hidden. I could dig that. But there's nothing hidden if it's out in the open. This government right now is for the perverse. You see that. And yet you will still believing that you're biding in a time to save some face. No, they're biding in a little more time to continue to persecute you and do things to you that has nothing to do with the truth. As they further cut off the chain of supply, and then you military motherfuckers will know this. But you don't even know because you're all so special. The young Americans had a kind of mystical, listen to this, Walt, however, like O'Sullivan, the review's editor, believed in the war. All right. And in the Brooklyn Eagle, he wrote, yes, Mexico must be thoroughly, you can look up that newspaper, y'all, thoroughly chastised. He called for America to take over California, too, saying it would cause an increase of human happiness and liberty. And wasn't it 1830 when the Vatican sent their troops up on the shores of California? Excuse me. 1830, between 1830 and 1845. Saying it would cause an increase of human happiness and liberty. The young Americans had a kind of mystical faith that victory over Mexico would signify, in Walt's words, the coming of a holy millennium of liberty. Herman Melville, too, exulted that the political millennium had come. Herman Melville, look his name up. Both saw Manifest Destiny. Do you even know what that book is, Manifest Destiny? What it's based upon? Have any of y'all thought about that book? Manifest Destiny. I know some of you wayward individuals think y'all powerful, Sun Tzu, and I'm a businessman and blah, blah, but shut, y'all don't know shit. Anyway, as an expression of their generation's dream of world unity. It's not world unity, it's world control. It's to destroy, because the whole world, the deluge happened, the mudflats happened a few centuries beforehand. And there were those going around. Who were they and where were they from? I don't know if they're from in the earth. I can tell you they're not like us. They were going around murdering those of us who had no means to fight back, no weapons. Tartaria was disconnected. The electric grid was mostly down, except for spurts everywhere, here and there, that you could see in old footage and videos. I mean, old footage and black and white movie reels. Oh yeah, there are some buildings that were still showing electricity at the very top, but it was no longer a grid that corrected, that protected. Go pull up Manifest Destiny and just know something, learn something. It was the American Revolution happening all over again on a world scale now. That's all I wanted to read to you. Oh, I'm not going to. No, this has to be read. Like I said, with the other book, I'm not going to sit here and waste my time. Because if you don't get this, you'll never get this. And if you can't get this and that fraud sitting right there, you'll never get this. Okay? And we'll get to that when I'm ready to go back to and read it to you. Y'all still not grabbing a hold of what I'm teaching you here. You got a lot of people who's always denying. So when I talk on a platform or this, that, and other, and I'm like talking about certain things, I don't care about your feelings, don't mean nothing. And because you ain't been nowhere and it's relevant to your thoughts because this is what you heard or you read this in this two little books, I'm not communicable. I'll shut down. I will not say nothing because I can't empathize, don't have sympathy. I cannot communicate with you if you're talking about pure bullshit based upon you thinking you're smart. And you start throwing, when anybody starts throwing around, they went to college and this, that, and other, and I love you. I shut down. I stop hearing you. I don't hear you. It's a waste of my time. You're becoming valid. Not in a whole, but on the dialect of the communion we're having. Because we're in a different time period right now. Either you know or you don't know. And if you don't know, you don't want to commit sacrilege upon your pie hole. You want it to be a mouth with verbations of ohms coming over your labios. To understand. Your lips. Okay? Let's around and find out. I like a lot of smart people that always talk this and that and this, that, and other, and don't know nothing. We live in a time when people have an eclectic way of disposition. Didn't I say this a few weeks ago? I can talk very calmly, and it would be very influential over most people without raising my tones. And if I'm talking this way and I'm being very eclectic, what is that going to do? It's going to bring a control over you. It's a narrative that's been played out on the world scale that mitigates something. This is actually me casting a spell and you not even knowing it. And then if I want to drop my voice even deeper and do the same thing and be very eclectic and slow and talk to you in the same way as if I'm to say, the Book of Enoch, 1995, not a bad price, seeing how this is a very short revision of it. The Bible, as we hold it today, is esteemed by many religious. Now, people in the religious consortium will come over and they would just be like, and women would hear that and be like, And it's not about that. I'm going to talk to you at different variables because what I need to do is I need you to sink in. And I need you to hear the intensity without it being so volcanic. I want you to feel your own eruption and seek a better reality to have a cause to grasp whatever it is you need to grasp based on your eclectic responsibility. I'm glad that you allowed me to give you that little bit of thank you. All right, chapter 82. And now, my son, Methuselah, all these things I am recounting to thee and writing down for thee. And I have revealed to thee everything and given thee books concerning all these. This is long before Chateria, before the Anakin, before anybody helped us build to protect ourselves. I have revealed to thee everything and given thee books concerning all these. So preserve, my son Methuselah, the books from my father's hand, and see that thou deliver them to the generations of the world, to the generations of the world. Oh, they have been, and now they're hidden. I have given wisdom to thee and to thy children, and in semicolons, and thy children that shall be to thee, that they may give it to their children for generations. This wisdom, namely, that passeth their thought. What happened was sacrilege, even in such chaotic and destruction. And only a few would receive something, and even though we know it's not so much the religious dichotomy of everything, which is kind of bullshit, is still a way to explain everything. And those who understand it shall not sleep. Listen, the wisdom, namely the path that passeth, namely is in parentheses, that passeth their thought, and those who understand it shall not sleep. I've had damn near 28, 30 years of sleepless nights until recently. Because, like I said, the VA is giving me this shit, and it's poison. It's not the same shit. It is poison. It is some of the same stuff with small traces of toxin. The Air Force Bureau of Mine tested it, says, oh, that's not the same thing. The VA, I'm saying it on here, is literally poisoning veterans. Challenge me on that. We're not going to do some goofy lawsuit and all that other raggedy shit. And it shall please those that eat thereof better than good food. All right, so listen. And those who understand it shall not sleep, but shall listen with the ear, that they may learn this wisdom. And it shall please those that eat thereof better than good food. Even the most delectable of foods, this stuff will be better than that. What it means in ways that you cannot even conceptualize. And it means not the physiology as far as the sustenance is more than what we think food is. Blessed are those who walk in the way of righteousness and sin not as the sinners. And the reckoning of that means if you have, you don't have to, okay? Reckoning of all their days in which the sun traverses the heavens. Traverses. Pay attention. Entering into and departing from the portals for 30 days, and the heads of thousands of the order of the stars, together with the four which are intercalated, which divide the four portions of the year, which lead them and enter with them 4 days. Only to them men shall be at fault, and not reckon them in the whole reckoning of the year. Oh man, yea, ye men shall be at fault, and not recognize them accurately. What I tell you, this stuff is kind of messed up what they've done in here. And men shall be at fault because the women are broken. So if the women make powerful men, and the powerful men protect the women to continue, isn't that a circle of life? Not perpetuated by the lie of turmoil, the yin and yang, the again and the for and against, which is pure bullshit. The circle of life is the powerful and the protected, not the perversion, which we see now. For they belong to the reckoning of the year and are truly recorded thereon in parentheses forever. One in the first portal, and one in the third, and one in the fourth, and one in the sixth. And the year is completed in 364 days. You would think that these people, these things are wise, and they're not at all. You have been fooled because you have been led into a purgatory of thought, disdain, and dishonor, and you have lived that out accordingly, but not according to order, according to what you've been placed in. It's like being put in a bad incubator, and then somebody puts you into a good one to hatch you, but they know that you've been in a bad one, so you come out a little jacked. To whom, all right, Uriel. All right, first of all, luminaries and months of festivals and years and days, as Uriel shown and revealed to me, to whom the Most High of the whole creation of the entire earth have subjected the host of heaven. So we're talking about beyond this heaven, but other heavens. Heaven is in you. Just like you are a God, for the term lesser. That's why you see these Masonics walking around with a small G as if they're saying something, but when you look at their shit, it's got a BG, which is a perversion. It has nothing to do with the truth, because they are not enlightened to the truth. They have been in a bad incubator, taken to a good one, and believe they've been selected, because they say in order to be one, you got to ask one. I was asked to be one. And I repudiated with a big grand old fuck out of here. They knew me not. That little minuscule shit. And he has power over night and day in the heaven to cause the light to give light unto men, the sun, the moon, and stars, and all the powers of the heaven which revolve in their circular chariots. The fuck, something wrong there? Did they skip a beat? And these are the orders of the stars which set in their places. And we know they're not called stars. That is an assertion, an inscription that has nothing to do with reality. It's a perversion by the Vatican by way of the Ashkenaz, who are the usurpers of the enemy. Y'all see soon. Which set in their places and in their seasons and festivals and months. And these are the names of those who led them, who watch as that day they enter at their times, in their orders, in their seasons, in their months, in their periods of dominion, and in their positions. Therefore leaders who divide the 4 parts of the year enter first, and after them the 12 leaders of the orders who divide the months. And for the 360 days, there are heads over thousands who divide the days, and for the 4 interclay days, 364 days a year, people, there are the leaders which sunder the 4 parts of the year, which is actually 5. That's the perversion. Yet they couldn't hide the 364. For any of y'all good with math, paying attention to the numbers I ran through before, you would know there's 28, 29 days to a 130, I think. And with purpose is because of the change of tides between the 5 months, the 5 seasons of 13 months. You paying attention now? Roger Green, peace. Yeah, I know, brother. Something we have to deal with. But their purpose is to take us out. So don't sweat it. You'll be all right. There are heads over thousands. Now pay attention to this. Who divide the days, and for the 4 interclay days, there are the leaders which sunder the 4 parts of the year. And these heads over thousands, as I stated. Now, the leaders, let's get into this. And these are the names of the leaders who divide the 4 parts of the year, which is 5, which are ordained, and the one that's hidden, we'll get to that. Milkiel, listen to this, Emelech, and Melchijah, and Neriel, and Suriel. Suriel is the one hidden, if I remember right. These 3 follow the leaders of the orders. And there is one that follows the 3 leaders of the orders, which follow those leaders of stations that divide the 4 parts of the year, 5 parts. And we're going to stop at that. Anymore, and y'all be running around here, digging up your nose and pulling your hair out by the friggin' roots. I need y'all to relax. I just need y'all to pay attention. We can have all of the discussions afterwards, all right? Just listen and pay attention. Remember what I said yesterday? If you don't know, just be quiet and listen. I don't care who you think you are. It's far from who you truly are. Just listen. I'm not asking you. Muladhara. The red root chakra is located. We're going to get into the positions of chakras. And I think this is very important. Now, the other day, because I didn't read this yesterday, I thought let y'all breathe. But also extend into the energy body, affecting us emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually as well. Do you remember that? We talked about the 7 heads, the serpents, the 33rd, the Atlas. We went through who Hercules truly is. Well, we wanted Atlas, or Hercules, and the fact that he didn't hold up the earth, he held up the universe. Okay, so Muladhara, the red root chakra, is located in the perineum and relates to the gonads, adrenal medulla, and the Pobocaicus. I used to have to say that, and I couldn't stand in pre-med. These are real words, y'all, medical terms. Muscle that controls ejaculation. Down here, the 2 long ones, they try to mimic with your testicles, all right? And my thought is the same. All right, I'll show you. It looks backwards in your head, but I'll show you. All right? So anyway, look. Pubocaicus muscle that controls ejaculation. It's your penis. Psychologically, the root chakra controls security, survival, and the fight or flight response. And if you're soft, very nervous, you got pre-cum or pre-ejaculation before you even get in there. Well, anyway, if you look at the brain, what does that remind you of? And women, what does that remind you of in you? Do you know that the universe, it doesn't encompass just in here? It's a whole dynamic of our makeup that you never looked at. We're looking at something we should not be looking at, because there's no reason to have an understanding. And only those who have the understanding of what our brain and body looks like are those who know we're a different physiology, so that way they can destroy it. Who needs to study it? Oh, they say for cures. We had all the cures. When the Rothschilds came in and created a petroleum base to keep you sick, it wasn't for wealth. It was to destroy us as a people. That means the Rothschilds and the Ashkenaz are not really from here, because they were the ones who have been stealing bodies for the longest time, grave diggers and everything else. Frankenstein, Corbett, blah, blah, blah. Why is that y'all can't even conceive of this or conceptualize it? Now you have the half-breeds who have grazed this, that, and the other in them, and they're running around creating mayhem, but they have a system of those who are good slaves, who serve them well. And y'all are obedient to that. Let's carry on. Swadhisthana, the orange sacral chakra, is located in the sacrum and relates to the testes, ovaries. All right, so we're starting here, the red. Now we're here, the orange, okay? The genitourinary system and the adrenals. Psychologically, the sacral chakra controls sexuality, relationships, violence, addictions, pleasure, creativity, and enthusiasm. Gut instincts. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. You're thinking it here, but then this right here, my heart's pumping blood, but this right here is like, fuck it. Am I lying? Okay. Psychologically, the sacral chakra controls sexuality, relationship, balance, addictions, pleasure, creativity, and enthusiasm. Manipura, the yellow solar plexus. Okay? That's why it's important to breathe. Listen. It's located in the solar plexus and relates to the metabolic and digestive systems, the pancreas and adrenal cortex. Psychologically, the solar plexus chakra controls power, will, fear, and anxiety. That is why you need to focus, diaphragm, learn to breathe properly for spirit contentment. Regardless of what may happen, even in the process of thought of fear, to alleviate that and to become calm and find that place, knowing in respite, there's nothing wrong. Regardless of what people may see, that's their weakness. They have not challenged themselves and attained anything to be other than what they have been labeled or made to be in that broken incubator. And they later pulled to a decent incubator just to bring them into this world broken. All right. I told them to leave me alone. They're hard-headed. For fending off disease, blood flow, and listen to this. This endocrine system is responsible for fending off disease, blood flow, and maturation of T cells. Psychologically, the heart chakra controls love, compassion, rejection, equilibrium, and well-being. The Vishuddha The blue throat chakra is located at the thyroid, which produces, all right, the thyroid hormone responsible, okay? All right? Responsible for growth and maturation. Psychologically, the throat chakra is related to communication, and growth through expression. Remember I was telling you about these little, I'm not going to do it because I keep pushing too much toxin down and it just be fucking me up. But these exercises, and you've got to breathe, and it's happening for your heart 20 times, 50 times, 20 times, 50 times, allows for these things to come out in the bowels, the ducts. You'd be surprised at some of the stuff you may blow through your nose, and your urine be very dark, your poo be very strong and kind of dark instead of brown, and sinking instead of floating. I'm just letting you know some things. Because you get rid of these toxins, your body's going to, your heart's going to take a beating. Your lungs, the silica in your lungs, like in your throat, on your tongue, are going to take a beating. The thing is, you got to get them toxins out. That's why they poison the food and the water and everything else. I would love to see one of them, if there any of them come and challenge me. I would love to see fat chickens come and challenge me. Anybody. I've had enough. So I'm not holding back on anything. Just remember, the heart chakra is separate from, listen, I know you're like, wait, he said the manipura, the yellow solar plexus. Okay. Yeah, will, fear, and anxiety, right? Well, the heart chakra is the heart chakra. That's it. And I told you what it controls: love, compassion, rejection, equilibrium, and well-being. It pushes you forward or it detracts, pulls you back. The Vishuddha, which I just told you, is a blue throat chakra. All right? Dealing with maturation psychologically, the throat chakra is related. And how do we get rid of that? Because it's a glandular, part of the thyroid and all that. Hypothyroidism, you know, no iodine, the things that protect you from nuclear fallout and waste. The reason why they don't have iodine in the salt and they brush it out, but you don't know this. It's like them putting the fluoride in the water because now your thyroid is messed up. So now you got to go get on some kind of freaking medication because you got a hypo or hyperactive or under what you call a thyroid. And I forget the other term, but anyway, and you cannot control it. That's why it says it's important to do turmeric shots and all these other things. Because you got to be able to decalcify that, people. And you need to decalcify it right now. And the problem is, even these people, that's why I call them and I threaten them. I say, oh, so motherfucker, you put the fluoride in the water and everything, talking about it's alkaline, huh? Oh, sodium bicarbonate, and you putting other crap in there. You putting sodium chloride. What the fuck? Who is you? You work for the same enemy? I see. That's how you was able to get this label and do what you're doing. What are you talking about, sir? Yeah, okay. Hold on to that. We'll see in the end. We'll see. We'll see in the end. For your moment of perversion to exist in it because you become so perverse, you're stuck. I'm not hiding anything. I'm not pulling back. Growth. Now you know why people are growing so small, short arms and everything else. Well, parents weren't very healthy. Besides the shots. I'm just saying, that's documented. I'm talking about from the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Well, 50s and 60s. Communication and growth through expression. So, yesterday I said about people murdering one another for nothing. And all the people, 99% of the people locked up are bitches because they reacted because they were raised with women. And when they ran out there and they got into a thing, they murdered somebody. The next day, the emotion and the feeling is gone. Imagine if you would have dealt with the person. Now you're sad and you apologize. You're standing in front of people looking like a fucking stupid. You don't know the truth of who you are in your history. Well, there you go. Growth through expression. So your expression and your growth is immaturity and everything else because of your fucking Vahudas, your blue throat chakra is off, your goddamn heart chakra is off, your yellow chakra is off, your orange chakra off, and goddamn it, showing up your green, your which called medulla mulhadra is off. Sticking it every and anywhere because this thing is all screwed up. And you don't get it while the food's perverted, while the water's perverted, while the air is infected. And while they can't stop, while they're stuck, regardless of how good a food diet they have, how much they meditate, what they have may have as far as information more than this. There's a place in in their brain that capitulates an auto response that sometimes can be turned off or dampened a little bit. And some people, because of their actions, it can be totally removed. And they wouldn't even know it. So that way they're stuck in their acts. So that way they cannot hide and seek forgiveness because of what's coming for them. So they will continue on this road until that day, regardless of what they believe and what they've seen. And this is no religious jargon. I like all the people that want to work for these companies and, oh, we're going to block this and political and blah, blah. And it's all a game. It's malnourished. It has malnourished. It has nothing to do with reality. It's like the idiots watching, not believing. I love you motherfuckers. You don't have to like nothing I say. And then you got the ajna, the indigo third eye chakra. It's located at the pineal gland. Pineal gland. Pineal gland, pineal glands, pineal gland. The precise geometric center of the brain. The pineal gland, the universe, y'all, is light sensitive and produces melatonin, which regulates sleep. And do not take melatonin substances, y'all. You're killing yourselves, please. Produces melatonin, which regulates sleep and dream states. Psychologically, the third eye chakra is related to intuition and clarity of mind. That is the reason why the fluoride must, other than removing your teeth, which are very important to all. You know, your teeth plays a major part in all your nerves, like your wisdom teeth. Don't have them pulled. They're upright. Don't have them pulled because the left side plays with your heart and which card, and the right plays with your liver and all that. Y'all didn't know that, did you? Stop having your damn wisdom teeth pulled the fuck out, your kids. They grow there, right? It's a purpose they grow there. Stop believing in the lies of a fake history that's about 165 years old. Sahara Swarasa, some shit like that. I had to look away because to remember. I call it something else, right? But anyway, the Sarasha, we call it. The violet, because it's weird. I don't speak that language. Violet crown chakra is located at the crown of the head and relates to the pituitary gland, which secretes hormones to control the endocrine system and connects to the central nervous system via the hypothalamus. Psychologically, the crown chakra is related to beingness, the whole. Remember we were talking about 33, the universe, the important roles they play? So if you're emotionally attached, you don't have a man to raise a man, to nurture a man, and a woman to nurture a young lady in the ways to make the man powerful and the man to protect the women, then what do you have? You have a flagrant foul on the field. Yellow and orange flags thrown all over. But who's throwing them? Pure consciousness and karma. This is the meditative state. When you go into places and you walk and you dream walk while you're awake because of your breathing. So you're centering yourself. You don't have no anxieties. You don't feel nothing. You're not sexually driven or what is it called? A meticulous self-interpretation of a perverse nature. You are finding balance. You're seeking that because now, not only is this decalcified, now you understand the whole. It's like being on the USS, which you call the Star Trek, the USS, which you call that ship, and everybody's on the bridge. That means you're all on the bridge. Pineal, you know how to tap in. You know that breathing is important. You know that you matriculate everything as far as how you respond, your body, the blood flow, and everything else. Now, who would want to stop that? Who would want to stop that? Who would want to stop that truth? You're not interrupted, brother. You just popped up, OG Green. Who would want to stop that? Do you see the importance of it? So if the people are disconnected from their real true power, then who can come and assert themselves over you? In the book, what are they saying? Do we make it a witchcraft state or a slave state? Are you not getting it yet? And then you see how everybody's running around acting? Okay. And karma, remember? Of the 7 primary chakras that are deemed to mediate the awareness and energies of our personal and energy field, 5 are considered to align primarily along the main meridians up our spine. 1 is between and slightly above our eye level. and the last sits at the crown of our head. Yes, so you know the pineal is dead center. Okay? So a lot of people see things, they don't really see nothing. They look and they don't see nothing. And they don't get why they don't. They think they hear something. They're listening and they're not sure what they hear. Talking and you ain't saying shit. Thinking and you ain't really got, you got thoughts, but you're not really thinking. Okay. Help our spine. One is between slightly above our eye level, and the last sits at the crown of our head. The crown, people. Kings and queens and don't even know it. Associated with nerve plexus and the endocrine system of our bodies, which secretes and regulates hormone balances, the chakras. So if you're eating bioengineered food and GMO shit, do you think that's going to be working regular? To regulate? Well, look what sugar done. Made people diabetic. And well, how does it do that? How did it fuck up the insulin levels? Just listen. As viewed by Eastern traditions, have primary role in the meditation of consciousness. The electronic recordings of the human biofield were found to be stronger over the chakras. I need to sit up right too and remember. When the signal from the nervous system's altering field was filtered out at frequencies above 500 cycles per second. We're talking about 8 hertz, y'all. The continuous low-intensity direct field seemed to be around 10 times as high as the field through which the body's nervous system is controlled, although its intensity is less than half that of a resting muscle. And this is Irvin Laszlo and Jude Corbin, Cosmos. In the late 1990s, scientist Ishak Buntov studied Kundalini from an engineering perspective. You know why, but anyway, and hypothesized the traditional yogic practice were actually advanced methods for stimulating endocrine glands to release higher amounts of hormones, endorphins and endogenous DMT, which directly cause the raising of consciousness. Bento found the 7.5 hertz, about 8 hertz, like I said, the earth moves at the same. Oscillation, rhythm. And that's why sometimes when I meditate, I breathe like this. But my thoughts aren't even on the breath. The breath becomes the thoughts. It's forced repetition. I would not do it live. That's something you have to get up to. Of the heart affect frequencies in the brain and create the stimulus equivalent of a current loop. In other words, the current homogenizes brain hemisphere activity, which in turn optimizes the secretion flow of various bodily chemicals, fluids along the cerebral spinal system, causing an upgrade in both health and consciousness. Bentov also theorized that this made the body an effective antenna for the 7.5 hertz frequency, which just so happens to be a resonating frequency of the ionosphere and could potentially be a mechanism allowing heightened intuition by literally picking up and gleaning information from the ether. Now, you stupid sons of bitches that want 5G so bad, are you paying attention now? A new center presently dormant, brother. A new center presently dormant in the average man or woman has to be active. If I'm reading, don't do that shit. It distracts people. Do it to yourself. Respect. Dormant in the average man or woman has to be activated, and a more powerful stream of psychic energy must rise into the head. Well, I'm talking one thing, you putting that shit out. Cut it the fuck out, OG. Head from the base of the spine, enabling human consciousness to transcend the normal limits. This is the final phase of the present evolutionary impulse in man. Listen again. This might help you. A new center, presently dormant in the average man or woman, has to be activated, and a more powerful stream of psychic energy must rise into the head from the base of the spine. That's why it's important to sit upright. And I'm doing that my best I can all the time, even with scoliosis I had as a child. To enable the human consciousness to transcend the normal limits. So we have limits. This is the final phase of the present evolutionary impulse in man. The cerebral spinal system of man has to undergo a radical change, enabling consciousness to transcend the limits of the highest intellect. Here, reason yields. That's why a lot of us we moving on emotions and feelings, and we need to fucking stop and attain ourselves. And I don't give a fuck about your background. Right now, zip. Patience and time is your power. And if you're conflicted up here, relinquish yourself. Just give over and let it go. All right, my beloved. This is the final phase of this was no time for games. I'm serious. This is the final phase of the present revolutionary. I didn't have to read, I knew it. Impulsing man. The cerebral spinal system of man has to undergo a radical change, enabling consciousness to transcend the limits of the highest intellect. Transcend the limits of the highest intellect, people. Until you're all powerful, I mean it. So gain some power and some control of the highest intellect. Here, reason yields to intuition and revelation instead of feelings and emotions that are based on being in a bad fucking incubator. Appears to guide the steps of humankind when we know we're not beasts. This is the man's of man and woman, all right? Of you being a sentient being. That means being in a state of sentient, regardless of your physiology. All right, the mechanism known as Kundalini is the real cause of all so-called spiritual and psychic phenomena, the biological basis of evolution and development of personality, the secret origin of all esoteric and occult doctrines, the master key to the unsolved mystery of creation, the inexhaustible source of philosophy, art, and science, and the fountainhead of all religious faith, past, present, and future. And that's Dr. Lee Sinelia. Now, when they express this, the secret origin of all esoteric and occult doctrines, that's because they're the ones, like the Theosophical Society, who wants to handpick when everybody's supposed to know this, but they are part of those to the detriment of all people walking this earth who are supposed to walk as one and be of the same body and mind, are divided because they want control. So that term right there, when we look at people when they write, they tell on themselves. The secret origin of, well, he's only repeating something as a reference to source, so it's not him, literally. But the secret origin of all esoteric, there's nothing secret about it. Esoteric is based on the Theosophical Society of Esotericism and occult doctrines, which occult shouldn't exist, because that is a fabrication that's made up, and that is roughly brand new, which keeps all the people away from the truth of who they are and what they're capable of. And the individuals who think otherwise, like them, are the ones filling you up with fluoride and all these other chemicals and bullshit, and poisoning and destroying all your food and fruits and killing the female trees and have chopped down the drier trees. This is why I need you to pay attention and listen. Yoga techniques aim at revealing the spiritual corporeity to a clear and alert consciousness. This involves an expansion of consciousness itself. And yoga is a great thing because not only does it work on your core, depending on planking, the meditations of it, but also the strengths that come along with it, which I did for a long time. I need to actually get back into, other than just doing cat and cow and cobra and all that crap, because it does allow for blood flow, and especially stretching. Stretching is so paramount to relinquishing the tightness and the pain that you feel. You must alleviate by heightening your senses from your lower all the way up to your upper, to the crown chakra. Do you get what I'm saying? From your throat all the way up. You must hit all several. And in order to do that, you must relinquish yourself to something you know nothing about. Sometimes that's silence, calming your brain, matriculating your essence, your vibration and frequency, to raise that, to remove all your toxins, to allow yourself to breathe and see and to hear. And when you open your mouth, I don't care how it comes out, that is matriculated all through all the responses and responsibility, instead of these broken fake feelings and emotions what everybody allude to, thinking they know every goddamn thing, and you don't. That was a nice little act I put on there. But you don't, trust me. That might make somebody inferior, feel inferior. That's not what it's about. If you know all this shit, have a platform, go and teach it alongside me. If you don't, be quiet and listen.
You always gotta touch everything, don't you, Alexander? Keep your hands off stuff.
Dandelion root tea. I always have it with a piece of dark chocolate. Do you know why? Do anybody know why? What's the benefits of dandelion root tea? And it's nice to even add rose petals to it. If you got rose petals, not the GMO stuff, if you're growing roses, that means you're growing them hopefully in a potting source that is really natural. Those rose petals have more vitamin C than orange. You know that? Oh, and the sun don't just give you vitamin D, it gives you vitamin C and a few other things. Sometimes it's important to fast. You know why it's important to fast? So your body can snap into something else. Even if you feel like you got to put something in your stomach, you got to remove that feeling and satiate yourself with this in your gut and allow your heart to manifest it. So that way it's like, oh, I'm not hungry. I was fasting on the res before I came out here. You know, after I've been poisoned, I had all those holes in my lungs and drowning on blood every morning because somebody wanted to poison me, some people. And when I was over at that hospital, and the little Ashkenaz girl came in there wearing a whole different suit from everybody else and wanted to shoot some shit up. And when I'm like, right, they got me on the meds. What the fuck? Who is you and what are you doing? This is how sick they are. You know, I get this little fake ass, half-breed, new age, Pakistani Hindu who's actually Ethiopian, looked like the original men of the land, walking around with this big Swede Dutch thing behind it, like a little puppy dog. He's all fat and gross looking, acting all sedity, like if I couldn't see him or see through him. And it was just the Ethiopian brother who said Indian style, kind of far away. And I was like, well, is this stuff really that bad, what they gave me? He says, brother, I'd like for you to come out to my personal hospital, my personal clinic, so I could treat you there instead of here. And he says, yeah, you was poisoned. Everybody else was like, we don't know. I called and left a message to talk with them. They didn't call me back yesterday. You see what I'm talking about? Because, see, I'm going to give them the business. And the business I'm going to give them, the feds, the CIA, the Ashkenaz, none of them could prepare them for. Trust me. They could be watching right now. They could just do a test. Let's see what he's going to say. I wish you would. So, I can dig what you're saying. I always want people to be able to communicate on here and all that, right? I can dig it. But if I'm actually giving you something and I'm interceding and explaining something to you, a person that's been doing yoga, even the yoga instructor was like, will you stand in for me while I'm, yes. And I'm not even this fake ass license. I know how to do this shit. I've been doing Tai Chi for over 30, 40 damn years. And Qigong, if you want to call it that. And a couple other things I'm not going to mention on here. Don't interrupt when I need people to focus on what I am saying. Okay? And when it's all said and done, then we can have that conversation. If it's that important, you should be able to remember it. No, it's if that's at the moment. You should really meditate on it and think about it. Is it plausible? Is it feasible? No harm. I can get it. I don't control nobody's mouths or anything. But what we need with me in this group, if you want to call it that, I hate that term, but we're going to call each other kinfolk and kindred. Stop believing you know what I know. Stop. I already said that before, and it wasn't a challenge. You don't know what I know. And I don't know what you know. But whose platform is this? And why am I doing it? Because I was asked to do it. Not because I came here to challenge. I didn't come here because of some chip and some feelings. This is not a competition. Just listen. Because I've got a world more than just that shit. All right? Respect. Now, there was another book I was going to read, but we're going to read that with these here in a few hours. All right? I'm going to have my soup this morning, though. It's got cabbage and sweet potatoes in it. Some onions and scallions. yeah, it's just the bomb. And what else does it have in it? Cilantro, parsley, roasted garlic. Now, I'm not big on garlic. Y'all know how I am with the whole positive blood type and garlic. But it's roasted, and the oils secreted from it are very beneficial cooked in the broth, which is a vegetable broth. And then I add my quinoa, which should be pretty much cooked by now. So quinoa is very important, but the sweet taters and the cabbage is phenomenal when you're doing a vegetable broth or stew. If you want, you can add some ground turkey. If you got the turkey and slaughtered it yourself, it's wild and gamey, and you ground the meat, then I have no problem with that. If you want to eat some pork and use a wild boar that you killed and ground up, and then you use it. That's what you want to use. The thing is, you want to keep it more brothy. You want it to be more electric. Okay? But you want it to be hot. So right before I get ready to eat it, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of turmeric and a half a tablespoon of horseradish and cayenne pepper. The benefits are beyond, and a pinch of black pepper. And the benefits of that is for cleanse. A lot of fiber, palatable, and there are phytocelicins in there because I have about 3 different mushrooms in there: oyster, shiitake, and crimini. Okay? No chocolate root. I didn't grind it up. I could put a little teaspoon of my shaka. It's downstairs in the fridge. I could put a little bit of that in there with the lion's mane and all that to get those phytocelicins. Nah, I think the turmeric, the cayenne, and the horseradish is more than enough of what benefits the gut this morning, or this AM. And then later on, I'll have my cassava, my phytocelicin. That means my mushroom. It's about, like I said, a teaspoon of that, along with a frozen banana, a ganejo, and I just might add half of an avocado because of the fat, which is very important as well. Okay? And that's it. That's my meal for the day. Yeah, well, we're talking about chakra, brother. I could dig where you're coming from. The thing is, what you were discussing, though it was in parlay, but it was not the same thing. We're talking about the body, the physiology. You can download, you can Google a map of the body and all the things that we're discussing. And the names will be right beside them, and those are even harder to interpret. So what I was doing is pretty much inserting certain things. That's all. It's just time and patience. It's not like this information is not out there, but me reading it is very important. Sometimes silence is the best thing. Greetings, love, light, and just hold on. That's all. We're not in the field, brother. We're not supervising and leading men and women. Okay? We're here to learn something and respect, and and I'm here to learn from others as well. But at the same time, when I'm reading and I'm doing a diatribe, do not confuse the people on here. Everybody wants to say something. But let me tell you something. When we walk the fire circle, if any of y'all not scared and you come out here, believe me, if I start telling a story and you open your mouth, I'm going to put my foot in your mouth. It's that serious. Oh, it's not going to be people jumping around screaming and hollering. No, it's that tact. When I say sit down, let's walk this circle, let's walk this fire for you to learn. It's that serious because we're in a serious time. And if you can't conscript that, then you stay your asses where you at. But walking that fire circle, anything that mitigates other, I'll feel it in my hands. Oh, we'll be holding hands, we'll be holding arms, we'll walk together. I don't know who. And when I'm standing in front of you, play that game, and you end up on your ass, on your back, don't say nothing. That's how serious it is. And they damn sure don't want that to happen. So stop thinking you know what I know. Just listen. And allow yourself to grow into another thing. All right? Stop being that which they've created. All right? You know that saying they say, come out of her? Yeah. Hold on. Okay, here we go. We're about to get back into a good part of the heaven bearers. A real good part. Of course, you know, we're going to read this verse. And we're going to start this with that book. I peeked through it last night, and I was surprised at what I found. It's correlations and corrections, but you know, it's all right. Does it pain me? Yes. That's why I said I have to write the screen right. I actually wrote about 4 or 5 pages, y'all. So, and that's a task in itself. Thank goodness I'm really driven, because their writer's block is a motherfucker. And though I wrote the end, which is the beginning of something else, it's a task when you're doing a screenwrite. I'm lazy when it comes to that. I ain't gonna lie. Any of my professors in college will tell you Red has some of the best laid out, but he was real. He would tell you real quick that he did not feel like writing all this shit. He just wanted to write. They would tell you, any of my professors, if they was coming watch this and they was sitting there, they would go, yeah, he didn't like writing all the, he just wanted you to read what the fuck he wrote, and that was it. Because it's control, y'all. Control, destiny manifest destiny. I told y'all, look at the book. But that's the reason why, because we shouldn't have to be controlled to write this bullshit language in a way that matriculates more bullshit. That was my thing. So the screenwrite, I could say the same thing. They were telling the story based on reparations would push me in a way. I said I would use that. I could use anything to do it to an end, which they sought in the first place. And even though it's fantasy, not really romance, fantasy and drama. That's what it is, all the way around. I'd rather be able to just tell the goddamn story all the way through, but to write it, in case we're not here and everything works out. Somebody could say, holy shit, I want to put this on the screen. 80 years ago, this is what happened and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? We make it through it and we get to live a couple hundred years, and that's cool. Because, see, we should be living 300 to 400, 500 years, y'all. You don't believe me? Then you haven't done enough studying. You haven't done enough reading. I'm grateful for the little tire asses that come in and leave. I'm so grateful for them. This is the reason why I keep doing what I'm doing. And the motherfuckers that walked by and said, oh, I saw him. I was in the car. We watched him. And you over here watching like you think you secret, like you hidden from me. You stupid, moronic thing. You beast. Not y'all, but the idiots. They just don't know. They believe in the world of lies they live in. They don't get it. That is delicious. It's very bitter, but it is freaking delicious. Now I got to go down here and yeah, no ginger. I got to go down here and put the cayenne and yeah, it's downstairs. So let me go ahead. Let me show you what I'm talking about. And then get off of this. And come back in a few hours and read. Did I put it over here? It's one piece of chocolate left. I'm so grateful this cat I thought the cat wanted to eat the damn Yeah, they really trying to poison us, man. These are some sick fucks. And the sad, even worst part about it is the people who are putting the medication out there, I believe some know it and some don't know it. I really believe that. I remember when I was in Queens, St. Albans, and Cool J's mom worked in the pharmacy. I remember when she retired. She was so happy to get the fuck up out of there. Ain't no telling what she said I had to do or whatever. Yeah, St. Albans, New York, y'all. St. Albans VA Hospital. With them damn Ashkenaz doctors at all the sites that I saw, always wanting to put you on a whole bunch of psychotropics. Trust me, I got their names and everything. I wish somebody would sit there, you false medical information, motherfucker, please. And I got all the documents. You stupid. That's what I'm talking about. They're stupid. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna turn this around. Let you see. Woo chow, woo chow. Okay. Let me get the cayenne. This is gonna probably tear my damn nose up. All right, which one's turmeric? This one's turmeric's open. No, that. Holy shit. No, we don't want to use that either. Oh. Damn, I feel stupid. Yes, sir. People said, you ever eat boiled eggs? I said, hell yeah, I eat boiled eggs. And I put this right up on it. Cayenne pepper. So we're gonna drop, and I'm good at about a lot. It's gonna be spicy. Oh shit, got my nose wide open. Now the turmeric after the cayenne. Holy God. About two tablespoons. Yeah, it's gonna take a bit. It's like when I used to do curry chicken, like Hindu, and I love Indian food, y'all. Nothing against my people, man. Hindu, I love it. So you got to get in there, and then you got to mess it around. Oh, child. Woo-wee. Now the horseradish got to go in next. God dog, man. So yeah, if you sick, you come out here and I'll hook you right on up, all right? Now you got to really mix this turmeric in, y'all. Oh my God, my eyes. I think my eyes about to jump out my head. All right, hold on. Holy smizzle smacks. God dog, man. All right, where's that now? Oh, I got the, forgot I had all these. You know, I like eating all this stuff, man. Oh, it don't even have to be in the fridge. It's just taking up space, but that's just me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, shit. I'll put you down here with the soup. Oh. God dang it. Hold on. Yeah, that's me. The strawberry. I need the strawberries. There we go. And my strawberries. Thank you. And I got my beets. Oh, shit. God dang, man. Oh, my goodness. Oh. Okay. Now, I got to add a little bit of, you know what this is, right? Apple cider vinegar. It's going, what, Papa? It's going to cut down on some of the, the cayenne. I put a lot in there. I ain't put all I'm supposed to put in there, y'all. Holy shit. It's horseradish, and it's like with mustard seeds. It's like a mustard, but it's not. It's strong. I bought it at Sprouts, or was it Sprouts, or was it that other one? Begin with the R. It comes out. There we go. And 2 tablespoons. Holy shit! And we can only put it in the fridge. You can stay out. My nose is wide open, y'all. So now what I'll do is, holy shit, I'm going to go ahead, mix it in there real good like this. Oh my goodness. I'm going to show y'all what I'm looking at right now and let you see what it looks like. And then I'm going to turn it off and let it rest for about 15, 20 minutes, and it's ready. So I've got one big sweet tater up in there, or a yam. Actually, it's a yam, not a sweet tater. I got one big yam in there. And shit. Let me show you. Yes, it's been cooking all night. Don't get it twisted. All night. On low. Now we're going to turn it off. We're going to let it's going to start boiling here. It's going to start boiling in a couple minutes. And then I'll turn it off and let it rest for about 15, 20 minutes. So when I'm ready, I can come down and get me a small little, 4 or 5 ounces of it. Sap on that, and I'm good to go. Good for your arteries, good for cleaning the plaque out, all that kind of stuff. And it's potent as fuck. Now, I could add this to it. Let me show you here. I could add this. Form of mushrooms. Shag, Rogers livers, lion's mane, maitake. Now, I'll add that to this when I whip this up. Okay? Everybody knows, like, they be like, how many Cashapp's you got? I'd be like, well, besides stuff that ToLU Cherokee sent me. I got to finish these two off. And I got a whole bunch down here with my wine and shit, with the food, you know what I'm saying? So, and I got two up top in that cabinet. And I got two more on the way, so, you know what I mean? Yeah, quinoa. Yeah. Quinoa definitely is in there. So, all right, here's starting to bubble up a little bit. Let's go ahead. I'm going to turn it off. Completely off. Let's shut this light off. Let it rest for about... Come on, Papa. Come on, Papa. Oh, that's my boy. Yeah. He's just right at my feet. He's dragging everything around. Come on, Papa. Okay, you good? Oh, let me put the clothes in the dryer. So, yeah, you know, like I said, man, you know, either you're about it or you're not. And some people, man, they just like to talk about it. And I can dig it. There's nothing wrong with that. I love y'all. But sometimes, man, like I said, and I've said, and some of y'all know it. I've said it before when I'm teaching. And I'm talking about certain things that are very important. Not just when we're just laughing and joking about shit. But if I'm directing you in a direction, I want these things, certain things to be heard. Don't interrupt with your thoughts and this, that, and other. Out of respect, I ask that. Because I need people to actually catch on what's going on. If you don't have it, you can always ask me afterwards what I was talking about, and I can go back to it and I can break it down a little more. Based upon not just my interpretation, but I'll pull it up and I'll be like, hey, let's look this word up. And that's what I'll do. So, be a good steward and be of patience. I need to put me got my Levi suit up in there. I like to have it kind of static free, and this is the shocking season. The negative energy. Y'all know those shocks that you can be static and from the rug and everything, synthetic? That's not good energy. That's negative energy. That's the opposite. I'm just letting you know. Look it up. But I will gladly look up any word, even the ones I can't pronounce. I can read it and pronounce it, but but I don't care to. Oh, excuse me. Stop grabbing my heel, boy. I'm gonna give it to you. I appreciate it. OG Green, I love you, man. Don't get it twisted, man. I love you, bro. I just need you to chill and relax, man. You got information. You got a lot of information. But in here, when I'm reading, that's anybody. Relax. We had that moment, that time when we can all sit there and we can get Veshi, what's his name, Veshi, that fake motherfucker in the news. We can get all Veshi on it. So I respect where you coming from. Let me get this cat because this cat, oh man, you sitting there, man, stop grabbing my leg, nigga. I'm gonna get you a little female, because if you gay, man, I'm gonna bust you up, nigga. Don't play that shit. Nah, I love you regardless. You's a cat, nigga. Like I love my sister. Oh man, because I know it ain't your fault. Hold on, I gotta give him this this go-gurt shit, this catgurt, whatever you call this stuff. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about, the detectable, squeezable things. I make it fresh, and he eats just a little bit of the fresh shit. I guess it's the chemicals in this. I don't know. I give it to him any goddamn way. I love him. Here you go, fathead. There you go. He just look at me like he wanted to fuck me up. He kept grabbing my damn heel. Them damn nails are sharp, man. I'm throwing my damn sneaker at your head. But anyway, I was kidding. I love y'all. I'm gonna give some shout outs. It's nothing personal, brother. I love you. Know that. King Benji, what's cracking? Anthony Love, peace and blessings. Rondo, what's going on, family? You already know, bruh. Mama Red. But OG, I love you. So it's not no direct attack, because there's a number of people have stated things. But I need you to hold off, brother. You're the army. You're a soldier, man. I need you to be had it back. Rondo's a soldier. I got a whole bunch of soldiers in here, beloveds. And come on, what's going on? We need you. You know what I'm saying? Sean Peter Aborigine. All right, what's happening, man? Moon Fag, what's going on, beloved? I came over, man. I couldn't even get my comments over there, and Copper Empress. I couldn't even. I was leaving. I was like, who's getting rid of my damn shit? It's been happening on a number of people's posts, man. Not nobody's doing it, but you know what I'm saying? Pioneer Gland, you're correct. Love mechanics. You're right. They took yours out when you was in the army, Rondo. Nigga, you can manifest a new one. You manifest a new one, brother. Yo, I'm caught. OCO, what do, brother? What do? Whatever. It's actually whatever and that but you know, what do. Yeah, that was quinoa, as I stated. Yeah, I love quinoa. You know how I like to take quinoa and I like to make a porridge with it, where I'll go to my Hopi brothers and they'll give me green corn mash, and I'll take the green corn mash. On the rest, I used to eat that a lot for breakfast, but you can eat too much to get real big. I'll take the green corn mash after I got the quinoa right, and some chickpeas, and put them together. It's high protein and fiber. And now add like a teaspoon of psilocybin. You know what I'm saying? Add it to it, stir it up. You see what I'm saying? Good shit. Oh, this is directly at the motherfucker, you fucking fake ass generals and you fake ass captain, you secret society motherfuckers. We know that you motherfuckers sitting there and you're putting out, you better sit there and tell claw motherfuckers to say, get rid of that. We don't give a fuck about who's what, and that y'all think you're hitting. You're not hiding, motherfuckers. We know that you're putting out bad fucking medicine. You punk motherfuckers. That's a low, what's cracking? All right? Oh, your wisdom teeth. Oh, okay. Oh, man, I say, nigga, like, yeah, you look pretty normal, because if you ain't had your perineal, bro, you'd be like lobotomy. You'd be like that. You'd be like one flew over the motherfucker, 18 flew over the cuckoo's nest. But anywho. So anyway, yeah, y'all. So let me go ahead and sign off, man. I'm going to go ahead and get up on the bed and stretch out and do some deep diaphragm breathing. There's a change up that has to happen, man. These motherfuckers are attacking us. Everybody. Even those who are parlaying and putting forth their game. They think they're going to be like John Leguizamo in that movie, The Day of the Dead. The Dawn of the Dead or whatever the fuck. With the black dude leading everybody, the gas station man that's dead. And he think he gonna get into the high rise, you know? Nah. Y'all gonna be victim too. They're gonna destroy your goofy asses. Maybe y'all just willing. Maybe y'all, or what they call those things? Y'all are drones. Those are real people. Anyway, no medical misinformation. These are just direct motherfucking allegations based on what I've been learning from people who work in the fucking pharmacy. What my people who have tested the shit, who are ex-Air Force, medical staff who can test this stuff, and they know certain toxins that most time won't show up. That's right. Remember I said a few months ago, I sent it off to a friend of mine who's the Air Force, who's a doctor, who gets into the engineering and shit, and I asked him to test some of this shit, and I had a bottle from motherfucking 7 years ago, and he's tested it to each one. One was pink, this shit is yellow, and he says, dude, I just got this little fucking documents. Fuck around and find out. And we know about Utah, that fake ass name. We know why them motherfuckers is there. And all of a sudden, all these foreign doctors in all these hospitals. Anybody been seeing that in the last 15, 20 years? All of a sudden, all these foreign doctors, especially in the fucking VA. Has anybody seen it and paid attention? I hate calling anybody foreign, but when you go against life and you're doing what you're doing, you ostracize yourself. You're going to get called foreign. Doesn't matter to me. I'm not into the politics and shit. I don't give a fuck about government or anything. I asked the question. Have any of y'all seen in the hospitals? Are you scared? Mom Red, you see them. Yo, it's quick to type up, and I'm asking, you can't even type that quick based upon what I'm asking my veteran brothers? Huh? Ronald, OG? I didn't run you up, bro, did I? Any of y'all in the hospitals? We at? That's what I'm talking about, brothers. You're acting like women. You're supposed to be acting like fucking men. M-Card, thank you. And I'm talking about within the last 15, maybe 20 years, how the numbers have just become grossly up like for like all of a sudden. I mean, but the change has been like, it's been good. I can sit here and go, I say 20 years. The number has just phenomenally, exponentially changed. Like talking about like about 180%, like seriously. And it's disturbing, you know, to say the least. Exactly. And that's why I said y'all should study about the Theosophical Society and why they broke away from Ethiopia. And then all of a sudden they broke away, and then they broke up and became Pakistanis and Hindus. And when they started using the term India, when we started warring and they wanted to change things up. Yes, Ronald, thank you. You see what I'm saying? And I have to give a time period because it's part of the whole systemic shit. Who you see standing up there with Charles Schwab running his fucking mouth? Nah, man. We tired. We had enough of the bullshit. I'll see y'all in 3 hours. Mad respect, mad love. No hate, no violence. Don't go out there. We're not doing that. Research the information. Look up the article I was telling you about as far as these three. It was 2 news clippings I saw, and my boy Mike Spivey shared one. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. Is this real? Because you know, I'm still questioning it. I'm saying I'm even with those I'm a legend because you never know. People nowadays can make up all kind of stuff. You know, so y'all research and see what you find on that. About these people and this the medication. Where's my tablet at? What does my tablet do? Oh, all up under here. What is it called? The medication is called, because I don't want to get into that. You know, my tablet, I turned it off. You know what? I actually take my tablet and my phone when I'm laying up in bed and I put it in another room in the closet. It's loud enough where I can hear it ring. Because it's a beat, it's a rhythm, it's a thing. And I put it in the closet. It's got Mylar all around it. You think it's crazy? Yeah, no, I don't call them. They're not Indians. I know that. But look. I told you already that I'm a Tartarian of the Republic of old. I don't get into all these other terminologies and shit. I go right to the Greek because I wanted to walk y'all there before I started stating that fact. My great uncles even talked about, told you they talked about Tartarian. My great grandmother talked about Tartarian. And they called it tartar. They didn't like a tartar sauce. I was like, and then when I first learned the tartar sauce, some new made up shit, I was like, oh shit, they really hide some stuff. You know, when I think about Orson Welles, George Orwell, Manny P. Hall, I always seem to go back to George Orwell and his quotes. You know, he has this one, right? It's loading. He has this one that says, the point is that we all are all capable of believing things which we know to be untrue. Stay out of there. And then when we are finally proved wrong, you know, we have this way about twisting the facts or the fact that we're wrong, like to make it as if we weren't wrong. Regardless of what I'm saying, there's nothing wrong with us being wrong about shit, people. See, that's the world. See, when you have a problem with being wrong, is when you wrong yourself. Because that means now you're complicit in the world you live that's full of lies. There's nothing wrong with being wrong. You dig what I'm saying? When you acknowledge you're wrong, now you want to see how you can be. It's not so much to be right, but find out why you were so wrong. You dig what I'm saying? I mean, impudently, he'll state like twisting the facts so as to show that we were right intellectually. I mean, that's not intelligent at all, even though it's intellectually. Like when people speak all intellectually, you know, I'll be like, nigga, you ain't intelligent. Let me see if I can pull this thing up. Hold on. So was it resveratrol or was it? I forget. Res something vaccine or medicine. I gotta pull up the fucking I don't want to get into all that shit, but I'm trying to pull up the fucking name of it. Cause I know that now they're talking about they want to do the babies. This is sick. All right. I'm gonna make sure before I get off so I can say yeah, all right. Oh shit. Let me see if this is it. Oh wow. All right. Let me. This is all right. Government Wire. Okay. The Epoch Times. Here we go. All right. And the Mercury News, the San Diego Union, ABC Los Angeles. So we don't get you're getting a strike because of misinformation. So let me pull this the motherfucker up. All right, California ABC 7 News. Yes, motherfuckers. No, don't start doing all this. I don't want none of that. Continue reading for free. You motherfucking right, motherfucker. What is this bullshit? See, this is the news shit, y'all. I'm talking about they want me to create a free account. Nigga, can I read the article, motherfucker? Wowzer, man. In order to read the account, they want me to... All right, continue with Google, nigga. Yeah, right here, motherfucker. Oh my goodness. Oh, I was getting, this is what these Ashkenazi motherfuckers do, y'all. I got excellent internet connection and everything and plenty of space. And now they're trying to fucking do something on here. Oh, wow. And I'm getting updates and everything. This shows you how incredulous these motherfuckers are. I'm going to go ahead. Just don't sign me in. It should sign me right on in. No, I don't want that motherfucker. Uninformed consent. 3 California hospitals face lawsuit for use of remdesivir protocol, attorneys allege, to wrongful death. Now, this is alleged. It's not making this shit up, people. It's regular looking news articles, record motherfucking people. 3 hospitals in California face lawsuits alleging they treated patients with the controversial antiviral drug remdesivir without receiving informed consent, using a protocol which 2 attorneys allege led to wrongful death. Daniel Watkins with Watkins and Lefowski and Michael Hamilton with Hamilton and Associates filed 3 complaints, one against St. Agnes Medical Center, Community Regional Medical Center, and Clovis Community Medical Center in the Superior Court of California in Fresno County on September 7th. Clovis Medical Center, Community Medical Center, Community Regional Medical Center, and St. Agnes Medical Center told the Epoch Times and NBC and fucking load of them that they couldn't comment on pending litigations. Watkins and Hamilton discussed the lawsuit the day of the filing at an event called Remdesivir Death, landmark lawsuit where they were joined by medical advocates such as Dr. Peter McCullough, Dr. Brian Artis, Dr. Angie Farella, and Dr. Lindsay Lindsay, all of whom have spoken out against the use of the medication. Watkins said they filed the lawsuit on the behalf of 14 Fresno area families who alleged that the hospitals engaged in medical deception and failed to provide informed consent in relating the potential side effects such as kidney failure. Full informed consent means that full informed consent means that full informed informed consent means that patients must be provided with full information about the deadly harm that this dangerous experimental drug causes on its own. The lawsuit states they must be told that the only time it was ever tested, it was pulled because it killed so many people. I have no problem with motherfucking a vaccine is really working, but this shit was just rushed, and we're not buying into it on my soil. Like I said, I'm a Tartarian of the Republic of Tartaria. I don't know about all this other made-up shit in the world. The lawsuit references a study found in the New England Journal of Medicine in which the safety board found it to be the least effective and deadliest drug in the trial before it was suspended after 53% of the Ebola patients who took the drug died. The national, and 53%, y'all, the National Institute of Health, NIH, has said it's the only drug approved by the United States Food and Drug Administration to treat COVID-19. Remdesivir received emergency use authorization in or around May of 2020 after being recommended by the NIH panel that contained 9 individuals with financial ties to its creator, Gilead Sciences. Do y'all know what Gilead is? Okay, we're gonna leave right there. Sciences. The lawsuit alleges it is very nearly the equivalent of a death sentence for a COVID patient or a patient with real pneumonia as opposed to COVID pneumonia. Without receiving informed consent before giving remdesivir, the hospitals violated the Nuremberg Code. The lawsuit states which criminalizes human experimentation performed without informed consent. In some cases, according to witnesses' testimony, Watkins said in the conference that remdesivir was given even after the patients declined it. The remdesivir protocol, the lawsuit alleges that the patients were subjected to what is called the remdesivir protocol, which varies in each hospital. A patient comes to the hospital often for a problem unrelated to COVID-19, and the lawsuit says they are told they have COVID-19 or COVID pneumonia. That's just like the witch card at these hospitals is supposed to be specially for lungs and all that. But those, like, if they gave you that shit without you knowing about it, they broke the law. That's why I'm on this hospital, because they better not have put that MSNR shit in me. From there, they are separated from loved ones and placed in a room where they are told remdesivir is the, excuse me, Papa, here, come on, is the only option, the lawsuit says. Listen. From there, they are separated from loved ones and placed in a room where they are told remdesivir is the only option, the lawsuit says. They are placed on a BiPAP machine at a high rate, making it difficult for them to breathe. The lawsuit says their hands are often tied down so they can't take the BiPAP machine off their face. In many cases, the lawsuit says a psychiatric would determine the patient agitated, which results in the sedation of the patient, making it difficult for them to fight the side effects of remdesivir, especially as it relates to their ability to breathe against the side effects and against the BiPAP machine. Their phone and the signaling instruments for the nurse are typically placed beyond their reach, and the lawsuit alleges the patients are also kept malnourished, and eventually intubated. The lawsuit states that where the patient then dies. It takes a protocol patient about 9 days to die on average, the lawsuit states. The lawsuit goes on to address federal financial incentives the hospital gets for each step in the protocol. Hamilton, who is also a legal strategist with the Medical, Constitutional, and Spiritual Rights Organization TRU HERU Foundation, spearheaded by Dr. Lee Vitt, I guess the regular news stations say, oh shit, we better talk about this. And because they'll be held accountable knowing that most of these motherfuckers are part of the goddamn, and that's a fact, y'all can do it. People have just mapped it out. Most of the people in news organizations, NBC, WNBC, this, that, and other, are family relatives to all these politicians and governors, whether it be in Chicago, wherever the fuck. So anyway, financial reward system for the protocols at the conference. What I'm going to, speak about is the average charge rate for 3 categories of COVID victims. Hamilton said if a patient is treated and sent home, the average charge rate in California is $3,200, he said. If you bring them into the hospital and treat them as a non-complex COVID patient, the average charge rate is $111,000, he said. However, if you treat them as a complex COVID patient, which means you have to either intubate them or put them in intensive care, by definition, they become complex. And for the average charge rate is roughly $450,000. But do you know how much the motherfucker gets paid when you die? On top of these charges, the hospitals get a bonus from the government by way of International Classification of Disease Code that allows them to charge an extra 20% on the entire hospital stay, adding $90,000 to the $450,000. So you can see what that brings it to. You got my sock. I think, was it 530 or something like that, thousand? So you can see why there's a great incentive not to do something like that, to just give them something that works and send them home, but to actually bring them in and find a way to intubate them, call it a complex case, and get 500,000 instead of 3,200. That's a tremendous financial incentive. I'm not going to read the rest of it. You guys go and look this shit up. It's real. Okay. And I can tell you this. You got it on the Spectrum News, the G-Wire, the East Bay Times, the Mercury News, the San Diego Union Tribune, ABC 7 Los Angeles, Orange County Register, the First Farmer, Medscape. You fucking got it on Fox 11 Los Angeles, NPR, CNBC, California Hospital Association. In case anybody wants to say I'm doing these motherfuckers' agenda still on these motherfucking platforms, I'm giving a try. Misleading, what you call it. So it's all there. It's all there. Okay? All the news channels. In case you want to research it. And they pretty much read it started with ABC 7 San Francisco, the Sacramento Bee. It's all over. It's wow, this is new. The New York Times, the Oregon, UCI Health, friggin' NB7 San Diego again. Veterans Affairs even have an issue with it. The 3 Valley hospitals sued over allegedly forced COVID medications. 3 hospitals and medications and sort treatment. Cedars-Sinai workers sue over COVID vaccine mandate. That's some old. I don't want to get into all that shit. The Department of Veteran Affairs is on, okay, stand by. We're going to leave that alone. I'm not going to get into that one. There they go. Yeah, they tried to interrupt because they better read it fast because the information is there. And you can probably pull it up on the news channel if you want to look at it. All right? So I just thought I would share that information. You got it. They got it on Facebook on checking info. Weird. Yep, I can dig. Okay, what's that? Good. I say our Indians also. Yes, and I've seen them, especially after they got fired. They ushered in all these foreigners. Like, yeah, I know when they fired them. Yes, that is what they will do. I know. Yep. Alexander, what you doing? Hi, Alexander. Somebody talk. Alexander over here. Alexander, somebody asked about you. But I just wanted to share that because I don't want to send them misinformation. You got to go and look at the articles. There's a whole bunch of them for yourself. And it's sad because what people will do for $1, it's terrible. And to keep a job. That speaks volumes about what people have become. And it's sad. But anyway, I wanted to share that. I'm not anti-vax, nothing like that. We got a lot of poisons, this, that, and other. But I'm not for this shit that's going on. And that's the facts, because this shit is bullshit. All right? It's all bullshit all the way around. And that's a fact. I'm not with it. I'm not with these peasants in these positions who think they're in control. And that's the bottom line. So, I will see y'all in a few hours. Thank you for the time. And I figured that might be kind of important for you. All right? So, ladies and gentlemen, no medical misinformation here. We're not doing no hate. You know, of course, the music I'm playing is all motherfucking no copyright. So I don't know why these idiots still talking about copyright on 2 videos. Anyway, whatever the fuck. And the guy, the video I shared, the duel, I asked him, he said, oh, it's fine. He ain't going to copyright shit. So you got to cover your piece. I stand by to do whatever's required. If you're at the gun range and you want to shoot 30 rounds, I don't have no problem just shooting 4. This is what I'm talking about. It's not that important. My thing is to read to you guys and share information like this. Sometimes you got to pay attention to things because most times we'll want to watch stuff that can misrepresent and guide us in a direction that we don't need to go. And then we miss everything too about certain things. And don't mean that we're supposed to lament, beat up on the hospitals, the doctors, this, that, and other, because nobody knows how it's playing out, regardless of what we may believe or think. Now, I might have some insight, But I know that this hospital screwed up. And I know they better not lie to me. That's all I got to say to that. But anyway, y'all have a grand day. I'll see y'all in a few hours, all right? Love y'all. All right?